Chargasx.
I read it in the index yesterday.
The last line of the last page is what freaks you out the most. Chargasx says we will go back before the rebellion began, but after the Lord's invasion, to guarantee the corruption and no meddling.
Blasted bootstrap paradoxes.
Yep.
What sort of knew this was going to happen, didn't we?
What if we just go back in time, find Chargax's grandfather, and kill him?
You guys know how to time travel.
No, that was a time travel joke.
It's a reference. It's fine.
Okay.
I
I mean, this is a world where time travel actually exists, so forgive me for being honest about it.
Go back to before the rebellion, but after the Lord arrives.
Yep.
To ensure no meddling.
Yep.
Sorry. She is a journalist, after all.
Yep.
I share this with Simon and Rosantress and go, well, we don't know how they're going to do it, but this is what they plan to do.
I think we should...
kill them all.
While your enthusiasm is greatly appreciated...
This is from the green cult, not the yellow cult.
Yeah, the green cult. We should kill them all.
That
Okay.
is absolutely our long-term goal. I think it is time we speak to Rust in more detail to understand better how they are connected and what they are planning, because that is a piece I do not understand fully yet.
I agree, and we should find Arted, because I've not seen him for a while.
I think you sat on a piece of cog just like spinning around.
Very much.
Not taking part in the social encounter took up most of this episode. Yeah.
What I have been doing, however, is whilst all of this is going on,
Yes.
I have been bouncing through the minds of 10 of the members of the cult that are in the room for 6 seconds, just finding out what they're thinking about.
To detect thoughts bouncing around.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Including the cat,
Sure. Including the small child.
the small child,
Lovely.
Russ,
Bree Love, please do Bree Love.
no, they have no thoughts. They have an intelligence
It'll
less than
just
3.
be business speak.
What you hear inside is...
It'll be Business Key from Lego
I'm
Movie.
only halfway. That's playing in his head on a constant loop.
No, I thought it was going to be the Lego Movie Business Kitty. The business.
Bit of both.
And 7 others. And anyone who particularly looks out of place, or like the cat and the child, or like kind of just different or creepy. Weird.
They're mostly humans, elves. They're mostly relatively basic humanoids, so you're not seeing anything too outlandish from that perspective at all. Most of the heads that you jump through tend to be quite self-absorbed. They tend to be quite interested in what they're interested in, which tends to be quite specifically their area of expertise. So you'll pop through people like, there's a chef. There's a... Not that kind of chef.
Wait, there's a chef.
There's a chef. There's a geologist.
Don't
He
assume we've been
rocks.
fed.
Couple of people that once you pop into their heads go, oh, assassin, oh, and their thoughts are very dark and not very pleasant. Quite a few of them are having ongoing mental conversations with a voice you don't recognise, but instantly you feel a horrid rejection of and don't want to spend time listening to. Instantaneously, like there's an no, jump out again. Like it's wholly unpleasant to you. You don't even catch the voice. You just hear like the beginnings of a word. It's go, and you, whatever gives you your magic power doesn't like this one at all.
You say wholly unpleasant. Is that with a W?
Your choice. As you step into the mind of the cat, you get some very vague thoughts about. Wish there were more mice here.
I was secretly hoping the cat would secretly be the evil one as well.
No, I'm afraid it is just a normal cat.
Damn it.
It's just a cat. There's nothing special about this cat. It's just a cat.
Just let something be good in this world.
It's just a lovely, cute, adorable little cat. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly happy cat. The small child is just a small child, a 7-year-old girl. She's enjoying herself playing. She's trying to find ways of passing her time because she's bored out of her mind. She gets taught by everyone in the cult individually different things, so she's not the most well-educated, not had a normal education at all. If anything, she seems a bit dim, but genuinely lovely. In Rust's head, as you pop in briefly, you start to draw a connection that no one else has yet, which he mentioned to Marks earlier and seems to have passed Marks by. He's working with the other cult. They're working together to purify the crystal. The other cult have stayed away from the crystal to allow this one to fulfill their task, which you understand they have a new technological idea of how to purify it that involves the giant copper robot. But you don't quite understand what it is. But they're working with the cult to do this, not against them. If anything, this furthers your goals, as well as theirs. And that's all you get in 6 seconds.
Okay.
I'm afraid with that we have to end this Our Adventure as Wanted. Thank you very much for your time. Obviously that is halfway through a story. A bit longer, it's 81 hours of the way through a story. But if you want to find out more on what happens next and where the rest of the story goes, please do join us again at any point throughout the festival. We are here 4 hours a day, 10:30 till 2:30 until Sunday. And that's when we end. Yeah, I know. If you enjoyed the show, please do spread the word about us on Twitter, Facebook, face-to-face with other humans. We're on Twitter at Adventurers250, where our stage manager Nemo has been live tweeting this entire last hour, and along with our stage manager Naomi, when she's not playing, are also live tweeting the entire show. So if at any point you want to cut back and go, I'd like to know more about this or more about that, it's all there, plus GIFs and memes. Yay! You can also watch everything we're doing at twitch.tv, because everything is streamed via that webcam on our Twitch page, which also means you might get a better sense of the entire story. Some of the videos at the very beginning of the story have now gone off Twitch because they have a 2-week turnaround. They will be on YouTube by September. So you may have to jump in less than 3/4 of the way through, but still not quite at the beginning. But if you fancy it, it's all there for you to read, see, watch, and enjoy. Obviously, you two paid a £5 to be in this room. Thank you very much for being here. Emma and Vivek also paid £5 to play at the table. It is exactly the same cost. We don't have a huge number of player tickets left available, I'm afraid, but there are sometimes returns, so if you pop to the box office and ask, you can see if there's any available.
We have had a couple of returns on the final day, so if people aren't scared of being a level 11 character,
12.
come play!
12
Level 11 on the last day. We're 10 and then 11. That's what it says on the master schedule.
Interesting.
So you need to talk to your fellow writer about that.
Interesting. I'll talk to my fellow writer about that. But yes, on the last day we have some tickets available. Apparently that's great. We know there's a D&D stereotype and a certain amount of like monoculture built around it, which luckily at the table today we are somewhat avoiding, although I'm sure I stand right in the middle of it. So there we go. If you are interested in any way, we do like to introduce new people to this hobby, or people who play a bit at home, expanding their player pool and meeting new people who play. We think that's very important. If you also think that's an important part of this world and this gaming world in particular, do join us on Patreon, where we have a Patreon where you can patronise us, or there's a donate button on our website. Lost my voice for a second there. We do free play events like this and more accessibility themed events in London, Edinburgh and Brighton, so if that's of interest, do help us out where you can. Right, we are very tight on time today, so if any of my players would like to give a quick shout out to anything else they're doing at the Fringe, please do so now.
So I'm about to start a live play podcast of Curse of Strahd. Follow me on Twitter, Emma Arshid, if you're interested.
Thank you very much.
I'm also about to start 2 podcasts and some streams and stuff that I can't give details about yet, but if you follow me on Twitter, Nemo's tagged both of us, so follow me as well, please. Thank you. I'm Naomi Jade on Twitter.
Thank you.
I have 5 shows at the Fringe that I'm producing.
Grief, man.
Pick one.
Go and see Providence.
Yeah.
Shadow over Lovecraft at the George Street Assembly Rooms venue at 5 p.m. It runs until Saturday. It's hilarious. Horror comedy show all about the story of H.P. Lovecraft and the stories of H.P. Lovecraft.
It's very good. Top
very
recommendation.
good. Very, very good.
There's a Skyrim joke. You guys look like you might get that. Good.
Right. I am a member of GIAS, the Grand Edinburgh Adventuring Society, which is the tabletop role-playing society at the University of Edinburgh. They organize Scotland's largest gaming convention called Compulsion, which I'm wearing the t-shirt of today. Look them up. The convention happens around Easter. They're amazing. And also, I'm designing a tabletop role-playing game to disseminate my PhD research on environmental ethics. That's at vsnt.uk/RPG.
Couldn't be more in favour of all of that. Lovely. Thank you ever so much, guys, for joining us this morning. And if we don't see you again, have a lovely rest of the Fringe.